hopefully I should be able to read comments and you can see what I'm doing here. Keep my phone close by. I hope you can hear me. If not, let me know. Hey Avanita, I'm finally spinning on the Magpie again. Yeah, these are actually two different bats from Nicole Frost of Frost Yarn, and I have had them in my stash forever. They're two big 5-ounce bats, so it's total 10 ounces. And I am holding both of them together in order to get like a variegated coarse spun yarn. Because the person who wants this yarn said that they wanted, a lot of it. So I said the one way to achieve it is, mix them up rather than having two separate yarns. And rather than carding them again and blending them, I kind of like the variation it creates. So it has some silk, some Angelina, merino, some really nice bright colors, and some nice subtle browns and reds, which just make it that much more yummy. Oh, and I see you're on the Twitch platform. So I'm glad my Twitch is working again. There was a while that my videos were not going live on Twitch, even though I thought they were. Now I know they are. I need to increase my take up a little bit. A bit too much. That's just right. Okay, so that's good to know that Twitch is doing well. But yeah, I tried after my previous spin on this with locks. I knew I was fine doing the locks with Scotch tension while coarse spinning it, but when I was applying it, I should have switched to Irish tension, which I did. So then I switched to Irish tension for applying something else, worked really well, and then I said, oh, instead of switching back to Scotch tension, let me just try Irish tension for coarse spinning, and I found the take up to be a bit much, so I switched back to Scotch tension, and when I apply it I can switch back to Irish tension. So I kind of like that flexibility, that it's pretty easy to change. If I want significant take up, I can switch to Irish tension for applying, and when I'm just doing regular coarse spinning, or just regular spinning, I can just stay with my Scotch tension. There's so much lovely sparkle in this. Yeah, it's so easy to do. It's like the first time you kind of do it, it feels like, oh, I've kind of set it up, I don't want to change it, but then you do it once and then you go like, it's it's kind of like changing a bobbin. So you're anyway going to be, switching out your bobbin. It's it's just as easy to switch to the other tension, so it doesn't feel like you have to change some major settings or anything. And Avenita, question for you. Do you need to uh, have the tension band on in the front when you're doing Irish tension? Because I felt I had significant take up even without that brake band engaged. Um, and when I did engage it, it was so much more take up. So I guess if you wanted more take up in Irish tension, you could add that brake band in front. But I was kind of finding it a bit much when I was just plain core spinning. So I tried removing it, and I still felt the take up was quite significant. So I switched to Scotch tension for core spinning. But I think for flying, I'm going to use Irish tension for sure. You can completely remove it. Yeah. Yeah, even completely removing it with Irish tension, there is just a decent amount of pull on the yarn. So it's really good for art yarns. Though I have to maybe consider applying this on Sheila, which is the Aura wheel, because this is going to be 10 ounces of core spun. I don't even know if I can fit all of that on this bobbin. Thick, bulky core spun yarn. And then once I apply it, I really doubt if it will all fit. And I would like to, since this is a commissioned yarn, I would like to have it as a continuous yarn because she wants to use it, knit a scarf with it. Not that, a joint really matters, but just it would be nice if there wasn't one. Oh, they are comparable, so it won't make a significant difference. Yeah, I think so too. That's what I was trying to compare the sizes. I was like, it might be the same thing. I might as well just try packing this bobbin up and seeing if it makes a difference. Yeah, I could do the volume math, that's true. Because as far as take up or anything concerned, that would kind of be pretty much adjustable on both the wheels. It's more about the capacity, really. I sometimes even wonder if I'll be able to fit the 10 ounces on this core spun. I think I might. I've just started spinning this, so I cannot currently judge anything. I know when I core spun 4 ounces, it barely looked full, so I'm pretty confident I can fit 10 ounces of core spun on it. So, and I love the little stalk thing that you have on this wheel. It makes it so much easy. Yeah, it does seem it is bigger in round. So actually I have the bobbin right here. So in length it's like a tad bit shorter. You can see it's probably like half an inch shorter, but in the radius it actually is significantly bigger, you know. So this circumference is definitely bigger than the Daedalus. It might have more volume actually. Yeah, it's backwards. It's actually it's shorter uh, but more wider. So it might have more volume. And it might be time to even give Sheila some love. She's just been sitting in the corner. So in order to kind of do a variegation of the two baths together, I'm just drafting them slightly, and then I core spin them. And there are places at which it breaks, which is fine. Yeah. I really broke this one in more pieces than I would like. But it's all good. I'm just going to layer all of these together, and I'm going to draft them out again. So we have a nice continuous yarn. So Evanita, did you spin on your falcon, and did you get more than 2.5 ounces on it? I think you were aiming for 2 ounces, if I remember. I was going to join your live streaming, but I had another meeting scheduled at that time. We have got 0.91 ounces to go. So you're close to 1.5 ounces on it, I guess, then. That's cool. have it a little bit uneven because when I do spiral ply, those uneven bits make such lovely textures. Like there are times when I like really smooth and even coarse spun as well, but it's not as exciting. And especially with a textured bat like this, those thick and thin spots which randomly appear makes them a really nice yarn for knitting or weaving. So this is like the third nest that I'm packing on, and yeah, I have a feeling it's all 10 ounces on it. Even the coarse spun, I doubt if it's enough it. I guess then it wouldn't matter on what I apply it. Have to see how it works out. If it's used for weaving, then joins really don't matter because you can just use a little bit of this yarn here and there and you're cutting it anyway. But if you're using it for knitting, making a joint in a really bulky yarn can be a little bit problematic. So that's the reason why I would like to avoid using um, you know many different yarns. But I think I made a yarn for her with like maybe 5 ounces of fiber, and she was able to get a really big scarf out of that. So then I'm like, this should be enough for two scarves. 10 ounces of a bulky yarn. She could make a blanket. Love that deep red. I see colors like this and I feel like dying again. Dying fiber, not killing myself. Dying. Oh well. I just got done watching Squid Games. I don't know if anyone else has been watching it. Don't want to give out any spoilers, but and I usually don't, you know, care much for crazy horror stuff and gore and things like that. But there is just something very interesting about that show, and I don't know what it is. Why it got me binge watching, no idea. Hey, so this is the fourth bundle, and I have like around 10, 12 bundles to go. So I'm already kind of filling up the bobbin. Okay, this time I'm gonna try not to break the rowing in between while I draft it. Same sort of games. Oh, cool. So premise reminds you of webcomic and anime, The Tower of God. I need to look that up because after looking at this, I kind of want to watch something similar. So but this is dark stuff too. I don't know, maybe that's the reason why I got intrigued by the whole show. I usually don't even watch that dark stuff, but it just felt a little different this time. Oh boy. I sure split this a bit too thin at places, but it will be fine. Okay, let's go for it. Let's move. See, I've been watching Evanita too much. I need to move my yarn guide at the back every time now, even if I'm doing art yarns. It's a matter of habit now. So my bobbin always fills from back to the front, no matter what yarn I'm spinning. So have you been watching it, Squid Games, Evanita, or you just saw previews and stuff like that? You haven't watched it? Okay. Yeah, I don't know many people in my friend circle who have watched it, and I kind of want to discuss it with somebody, but it's just there's nothing much to discuss. It's just that, just to talk about how fascinating it is, and I want to figure out as to why I find it so fascinating because I don't know why. Hey, Keston. Keston, the picture you sent me of my mugs in your kitchen cupboard was so amazing. It made my day. And I posted it on Instagram, and it has like 200 plus likes on it. It's one of those viral pictures, and it looks so staged, as though I might have done it. I'm like, no, I don't have those that collection of mugs. It's not my collection. It's a collection of my mugs in your house, which is super neat. Today is gonna be a busy day. I need to get some clay work started for some new work, for some pre-orders and stuff, and then lots of sugar creamer jars to work on those, and we'll also be recording a podcast. Yes, that picture definitely made my day. It's nice to see a grouping of my mugs, all together. And I like seeing them, in people's houses. Yeah, the blue and green one, which was so Keston Davis has two blue green ones. Evanita is on Twitch and she is eyeing the blue and green mugs which you had in your picture, Keston. And it was the one I think on the right side, and Keston has two of them, and they both have been done in the limited edition I had done with the yarn with Nancy of Schwarzerella Yarn. We had done a collab with her dyeing some sock yarn, and I making mugs to match that. Or actually, I made the mugs and she matched the yarn with it. And Keston says that they will be there just above the T spot, which I think is a perfect spot for having your mugs. Easy reach. Next to the refrigerator to get your cream and other necessities. Yes, that I believe we did that in 2019. We introduced that 2019 during Fiber Fusion. Oh, actually, this weekend. Oh, I just realized that. So yes, if this was normal circumstances, we would be at Fiber Fusion right now. I think it was this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Once things get cancelled, there's no point remembering which date it actually was. And for having your cheese got you it right next to the refrigerator where the milk is. Keston, I don't get half the messages you say. I think your text to voice or voice to text messages really messes up with what you're trying to say. Yes, Fiber Fusion is moving to June next year, which is also my birthday month. So it surely is going to be interesting. No, it is Fiber Fusion that's moving in June. Yes, we will celebrate our birthdays together. What date are you? Thought I remembered. I'm 16. I know we are not the same date, otherwise I would remember that. There's some serious flyaway fiber with this bat. Your 20th. Oh, that's the same as my cousin in India. I'm just covered in fiber fluff. Not always a bad thing. There's such a lot of silk in this blend as well. You can just make out with the shine. Yes, yes, Keston, the voice translation thing is a really jerk sometimes. There are times I've had to use Nancy's help to figure out what you were trying to tell me. I'm going like, this is a message I got from Keston, what does it mean? And then I realize it's not my English, it's your voice translation, which is messed up. So isn't Black Sheep Gathering also in June? Don't tell me they're going to clash with Black Sheep Gathering now. Well, I don't know about Black Sheep Gathering about next year, but I sure hope we don't have more clashes. And I would, if I do get in, I would like to try doing a fine art show again next year. And the one I would be keen on doing is the Edmonds Arts Festival, which also is mid-June usually. This year it was pushed to August because of the pandemic, but next year they might move back to their original Father's Day weekend dates, and which in all these years has always happened to be on my birthday. I've always celebrated my birthday at Edmonds Arts Festival. So Evanita says Fiber Fusion is towards the beginning and BSG is towards the end. Oh goodness. And then if Edmonds is in the middle of those two, I would have 3 shows in the month of June. So much fun for birthday month, right? But let's not think about that. I don't want to get excited about all the shows that are going to happen next year because we still don't know what happens. I get excited and now I get really disappointed when nothing happens and things get cancelled and it takes me a while to get back to work. So I'm like, no, I'm just going to now focus on what I can do right now. Look at that blue, that turquoise blue is looking so good. And that purple pop, that's nice. So Keston says, I have what is referred to as a whiskey voice, and I've had it since I was a kid. And when I would answer the phone at 3 or 4 years old, I would be Blake residence. How many I help? See, there you go again. I don't know what that means. So Keston says, you and then would tell me all about things that the officers' Vibes Club was doing, and then I'm Like, hang on, I think you want my mom. Okay, I think they used to mistake you for something else and then they actually wanted to talk to your mom. That's all I can figure out from that sentence, Keston. I'm going to just read out your sentences loud to show you what I read. And with no punctuation in between. Oh, challenge. I do not like voice to text. I don't personally like it for myself because I don't think my phone will be able to translate that well because of my accent. But people have said that they have improved. But I'm just like, nah, I just type my messages. I want to make sure what I'm writing. So Keston says, I'm really hoping Red Alder goes next year. Yes, I'm hoping for that too. Uh, so that would be my first in-person show, I guess, since the pandemic started. Um, and I did see that they sent out a list of people who are teaching. It's a very different list than means there are some teachers who come every year who are not there this time. I don't think I saw Jillian's name, and but yeah, I did sign up for being a vendor. So Red Order is in February of 2022. So hopefully I'll be able to do that show. Oh, this yarn is looking so delicious. Yummy. And it's getting just that right amount of variegation that I would like between the two different bats. Lots of reddish purples and bright blues and turquoises. All of them kind of not blending, but really standing out on their own as well, which is really nice. And the colors are really working well together, which is what I was a little concerned with. But they're all nice, cool colors, and there's a lot of pink in there. It just pops against the background of that dark burgundy colors and the turquoise colors. Kristen says that I nailed it. Yeah, I like, you don't have to use art pads as they come. You can change things around to make the yarn you actually want. There are ways to stretch it, which I think core spinning is a really good way to make a bulky yarn uh, without using all your fiber. Just use a thicker core. like I'm using like a worsted weight yarn as my core rather than a thin core. So that really helps to bulk up your yarn if you need to. Anyway, my bobbin is filling up, and yeah, there's no way I can fill it. I have so much more to go in there, and my bobbin kind of not halfway full, but definitely 1/3 way full. So there might be actually 3 bobbins of this going on. I don't know what I was thinking that I could, pack up 10 ounces of a bulky core spun yarn on this. I don't think that's happening. So Keston says, all fingers crossed. They did send out the teachers list, and you're hoping I hope you get your vending booth so I don't buy all the yarn. Yes, please. I hope I get my booth as well. I'm kind of working on a new mug design, which I usually do for the new year. I'm still not certain if I want to introduce it now during this holiday season, or I'll wait for next year. Um, it all really depends on whether I'm even successful at what I'm planning on doing. So there are a lot of ifs and buts about it. So we'll see. Oh, you're looking for your puppy fluff bats. And oh, Mandobug blended it for you. Oh, that'll be fun. And you are looking to get a drum carder at some point, right, Keston? So that'll be something nice you could have in your stash to do. Should I continue to spin this? I need to get ready for other stuff, but there's just so much fiber to spin. Now I know I cannot get it all done in one go. So I've been online for 45 minutes. That's a good time. I'm trying not to overwork myself and go crazy doing one thing constantly. Trying to blend it with clay work, quilting, spinning. I'm doing lots of knitting. I've made some significant progress on my blanket out here. And I also have a finished object, but we will look for the update at during our podcast. We'll be recording today. Hopefully tomorrow I will have that posted, and you can see all the things that happened this week. All right, take care everyone. Bye. Thanks for joining me.